Hi everyone! A big welcome to all our Google Maps platform developers from Discord and our innovators community. We're so glad you're here. My name is Ryan Baumann, and I'm on our Google Maps platform developer experience team here at Google. And I'm here today with Teresa Chin.
Hi, I'm Teresa Chin, a developer experience engineer on the Maps platform team.
Excellent. Thanks for joining us from Melbourne, Teresa. We're really excited to present our second Fireside chat. We're still testing this out, so please be sure to take our survey and let us know what you think about the conversation and about your questions. Today's topic is a conversation on building trustworthy, real-world reasoning agents. Here's a look at what we'll cover. AI that executes complex workflows using agents, the trust barrier between why grounding is mandatory, and then we'll dig into using Google Maps platform for grounding and do some code demos as well. Thank all of you for your incredible questions on our Discord server. Stay tuned till the end when we get to some of your user questions as well. Teresa, it's great to have you on the chat. After seeing the buzz at Cloud Next about agent-native workflows, what's the vibe you're getting from developers building their first agents? And how are developers thinking about moving from, traditional software development to developing agents?
Thanks, Ryan, for having me here. It was really impressive to see all the frontier technology together with other 32,000 attendees at the Cloud Next. It was really amazing. Now, the real realization is that Agent Native isn't just a feature update. It's a fundamental architectural break. The consensus is that we're moving from deterministic engineering, where we write rigid code to handle if X, then Y, to probabilistic orchestration. Now, in agentic flows, you aren't micromanaging the logic anymore. You are giving an agent a tool and a goal. The focus is shifting from typing the logic to reviewer in chief. You are the architects of the agent network, deciding how sub-agents collaborate while ensuring the probabilistic nature of the AI stays grounded in your business requirements. Now, we're seeing a shift from systems that just know things to proactive execution engines that actively do things.
Wow, that's really cool. So when you're building an agent that actually needs to take action in the real world, what are some of the challenges that developers have in building something that is actually going to do something?
That's a really good question. I'd say the stakes for accuracy change completely. If a standard chatbot hallucinates facts, it's a poor user experience. But think about it. If an autonomous agent is executing a workflow, a hallucination becomes a significant operational risk. For example, if an agent is managing a supply chain and incorrectly confirms a supplier's availability or a road route, you're looking at wasted fuel, missed SLA, or generating a business disruption. And in multi-agent architectures, you will face a cascading hallucination problem. If one agent in a chain hallucinates and passes wrong data to a second agent, then the whole system starts making real-world commitments based on a lie. Autonomy without truth becomes a massive liability.
That sounds like a pretty challenging problem to solve. I'm looking forward to diving into how we can help make that easy for developers to solve their agent's trustworthiness problem. So if an agent's actions are, grounded in the real world, like rerouting a delivery fleet, and if that's based on faulty data, the downside, the consequences are, really bad. So why can't we just rely on the LLMs getting smarter to solve this problem? And why do they still hallucinate when dealing with real-world reasoning tasks like, finding the route from A to B or solving a logistics problem?
Yeah, it's another very good question. Actually, it's a very common question from many developers. Now, the standard LLM, they know logic, but they don't know the present moments. So basically, our internal memory is essentially frozen in time from whenever it was trained. It's a historical snapshot. So they might understand the theoretical geography of a city perfectly, but they have absolutely no idea what the conditions on the ground look like right now. So the deeper issue though is that LLM are probabilistic engines. They're designed to predict the next most likely words. So if you ask an ungrounded agent for a route, it will use its training data to construct a response. It's a gap between knowing how the world usually works and knowing how it is working at this very second.
Oh, I know I've definitely experienced that in some of the agents that I've built or the LLM queries I've made with Gemini, right, where it's insisting it's a different date and it's not getting up-to-date information. So let's take a look at what does this look like for a developer building their own agent? What happens when a model acts on its own internal memory or its pre-training data instead of up-to-date real-world information?
Yeah, let's look at this field service logistic as an example, right? So imagine a technician asks their dispatch agent for the routes to a central hardware supplier. Then the ungrounded agent calculates the mathematical distance, assumes the driver can go at the speeds, and it says, oh, it's 15 minutes away, proceed to the destination. Now, it completely missed the fact that there's a massive traffic jam on the road, and that a supplier actually closed 10 minutes ago. Now, it made a logical guess, but sent your driver into traffic for a completely wasted trip.
Yeah, and I can imagine how that error compounds when you're building a list of stops to do or a whole trip or itinerary plan that you're doing. So the model's stuck on the past from its training data. How does grounding bridge the gap between the model's reasoning capabilities and the real-world conditions?
Yeah, grounding mandates that the agent steps outside its training weights. So we build an architectural requirement that says before the agent can take actions, it must fetch verifiable live facts from an external source of truth and base its decision strictly on that data. It essentially gives the AI real-time ears and eyes, turning a static guess into informed decisions.
That makes sense. I think I've seen this in Gemini where it'll go search Google and then it'll give its response citing what sources from Google that it searched. So it's similar for this, but for maps and logistics information. I think I get it. So once you've established now that grounding for real-world information is really important for agents to perform trustworthy end-to-end actions like trip planning and logistics, the next question is, what information do you need to ground your agent as a developer? For problems involving the physical world, what makes Google Maps platform the best tool to use to solve this problem for your agent?
The physical world is incredibly dynamic. Traffic shifts constantly, accidents happen, and the business change their operating hours. Grounding is only as good as the data source behind it. Google Maps platform processes this dynamic reality at scale, minute by minute. If your agent is dealing with travel, retail, or fleet routing, it needs the absolute spatial truth to make valid decisions, not just static geography. Now, when we ground an agent in Maps platform, we're giving it access to the live reality of over 250 million locations through places data, including real-time operating hours and precise site details, with a layer on that routing and search along route capabilities, which allow the agent to not only calculate ETAs based on live traffic, but also find the most efficient stops without deviating too much from the primary goal. To give the agent a true sense of the environment, we also integrate live street view imagery data as imagery grounding. This means the agent can see the specific location. By combining the places, the routes, and this deep visual context, You are providing the agent with the definitive spatial truths it needs to make decisions that actually work on the ground.
Sounds like I need to up my GeoGuessr game with a good location-grounded agent. um, so conceptually, grounding in the real world makes sense. You got places, you got routes, you've got street view imagery, but tactically, how are developers connecting all of those tools into their agents so they can build like a trustworthy solution? What does the integration look like in practice using tools like Model Context Protocol or skills or other components?
We've essentially streamlined this into two distinct paths based on a developer's specific needs. If you're building within the Google Cloud ecosystem, there's a native grounding with Google Maps feature directly in Vertex AI. It's incredibly seamless, basically a managed toggle that connects Gemini models to the Maps data stream with built-in enterprise security and attribution. For developers who need more flexibility or are working with various open source frameworks, we've introduced the Maps Grounding Lights. This is built on MCP, which is an open standard designed to make this integration plug and play. It acts as a standardized bridge to live places, routing, and weather data, allowing you to anchor your agent in reality with near zero friction.
Great. So is it fair to say that if I'm just building my first agent and I'm using whatever agent framework I want to play around with, I should start with Maps Grounding Light, and then when I go to productionize it, I should look at an option like grounding with Gemini and Google Maps?
Yeah, absolutely. This is the easiest way to start with.
Excellent. Okay. This is a good segue. I'd love to see what this looks like. I know you've got a demo to show us of a travel planner that helps a person to explore travel destinations. You want to show us around?
Yep. Let's look at the demo. This is the Maps Grounding Lights demo. I'm going to ask this agent to help me plan a day trip in San Francisco for next Saturday based on the weather condition. Let's see what this agent can do. Now you can see now the agent is connecting to Gemini model and calling the MCP server and calling the search places to find the places for me. It's still thinking, and I try to pull out the real data for me. And then now you see all these places information are grounded from Google Maps platform. And there is a weather forecast for me next Saturday. So all the day trip planning was based on the weather condition. And here, if I click one of the marker on the map, you can see this is the beautiful place details cards pre-built by Google Maps platform. And by using the place ID, you can easily render this beautiful place cards on the UI easily. And if we look at the MCP response, now you can see this tool call. The first tool call is lookup weather. That's the forecast that you see on the response. And here is the actual MCP tool response in a JSON format. And the second tool call is search places. So based on my prompts, I asked the Gemini to find some museum places for me and created restaurants for me. So all these data are actually coming from Google Maps platform places data. So with the Maps grounding line, your agent can get all these accurate geospatial information.
Wow, that was really cool. So could you walk us through what the agent actually used to, look up all the places and the routes and the weather along your route in the demo you just showed, Teresa?
Yeah, this travel planner demo is grounded with Maps Grounding Lights MCP server. Now, the MCP server provides tools such as search places, compute routes, that allow the model to access capabilities for places, weather, and routes data.
Cool. And what really stood out to me is that you had this amazing immersive experience with the globe view and 3D maps, right? That was the main experience that I saw. And as you interacted with the agent and asked questions, I could see all of the places show up as markers and routes all over the map. Could you tell us how that user experience matched with the agent logic?
The 3D globe is from GMP photorealistic 3D maps. It gives user a very cool immersive experience. The place details card that you see in the demo is built with a GMP Places UI kit. The map's grounding light returns a place ID. With this place ID, you can easily render the place details component on the UI.
Okay, I'm starting to get it now. I can go all the way from a user experience to the agent that reasons over the real world to really build a full solution, a whole application from. That's really cool. But we didn't yet see how this agent takes action in the real world. It didn't, change an event on my calendar or book, like a place to go out for dinner. So let's take a look at a real world reasoning agent that takes action, not just shows the user options of what to do. I think you have a demo on that as well, right?
Yep, I have a demo that really shows you how an autonomous agent can manage things for you.
Picture this. You've just stepped into the energy of Google Cloud Next. You need to make sure your day is squared away, so you pull up Gemini Enterprise, open the Day Planner agent, and simply ask,
"What's my day look like?"
The Day Planner agent gets to work. Let's take a look at what it's thinking about. Running on the Google Cloud Agent Engine, it uses cloud connectors to pull your latest calendar data instantly. Then, it taps into Agent Platform and Google Maps grounding to double-check that every spot on your list is actually open and ready for you.
The agent doesn't just list your meetings, it looks to correct any problems. It notices one of your locations is temporarily closed and flags the issue. Then it proactively helps you find a backup. You tell it,
"Yes, find me an alternative."
Using Maps grounding again, the agent scans the area for similar venues and offers to swap the new spot right into your schedule.
The Alchemist sounds good.
Once that's set, it checks in to see if you want to verify the travel times between your appointments.
Yes, check travel times.
You give the green light, and the agent dives into Maps routing data. It looks at the real-world gap between point A and point B. After crunching the numbers, the Day Planner agent realizes two of your events are a bit too tight for comfort and suggests shifting your calendar to give you a realistic buffer.
You approve the change,
Yes, shift Southern Highlands.
and the agent reveals your new optimized itinerary, finally, based on what your meetings are actually about. It asks if you need any prep materials. You say,
Yes.
and it instantly pulls together the documents and assets you need to hit the ground running. With a Day Planner agent, you can start your day with total peace of mind. Your schedule isn't just a list of times, it's a plan grounded in real-world data from Google Maps.
We hope you've enjoyed this presentation of the Day Planner agent. Have a great day.
And happy mapping.
Wow, that was so cool. Can you give us a brief recap of what the agent did and how it works under the hood?
This agent is integrated with Gemini Enterprise. It has securely access to Google Calendar to move beyond a simple scheduling. By grounding calendar data in real-world spatial logic, the agent proactively identifies logistical conflicts, such as the impossible travel times or problematic locations that you just saw in the demo, and automatically suggests optimize the meeting times and alternative venues to keep the user stay on track. All these become feasible is just because the Google Maps data.
All right, that was really great, Teresa. I learned so much about maps, grounding, agents, and all the cool applications I want to explore and build. What should Google Maps platform developers take away from today?
We're moving beyond the simple chatbots. Developers are now building real-world reasoning agents that can think, plan, and execute. This isn't just a technical trend. It's unlocking entirely new use cases in many industries like travel, logistics, and retail by allowing AI to handle complexity that was previously hard to manage, right? Now, Google Maps platform provides the essential building blocks for these agents. Like in the previous example, you see the 3D maps, the places UI kit. These are all amazing building blocks for our developers to enrich their use case and a presentation to their end users. Maps grounding and imagery grounding acts as the agent's eyes and ears in the physical world. By anchoring your model in this live spatial data, you ensure you make decisions based on what is happening right now, not on a frozen snapshot anymore from the training data. And Google provides a massive integrated toolkit such as Gemini Enterprise, Agent Platform, ADK, that is all designed to take you from prototype to production seamlessly.
That's awesome. If I just want to start building my first agent and seeing what I can do, what's the easiest way to get started?
The shift to agentic AI is the most exciting engineering challenge we've seen in years. But it requires a fundamental shift in how we build. We are moving away from brittle, hard-coded API scripts and toward autonomous systems that can reason and act. But as we discussed today, that autonomy requires rock-solid fundamentals of truth. By leveraging the Google ADK, you solve the hardest parts of context management and the tool integration out of the box. And by bringing in Google Maps grounding, you give your agents the real-time eyes and ears that they need to navigate the physical world safely and compliantly. Now, for everyone watching, the best way to understand this is to build it yourself. Head over to our developer documentations to find ADK and Maps grounding. We'll also be continuing the conversation over on the Discord channel, so please jump in. Share the architectures you are experimenting with and let us know what real-world problems your agents are solving.
Oh, I can't wait to learn from all of our developers on Discord. Thank you so much for joining me, Teresa, and thanks to all of our innovators who joined Discord for this special event and for all of your questions. We'll be posting this recording to our YouTube channel at Google Maps Platform soon. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and get the announcement. Stay tuned for a brief survey afterwards, and to everyone watching, happy mapping.